We're still talking Premier League, and we're actually going to talk runners-up. We're going to talk about Liverpool. Great season this year. But ultimately, Paul, it ended in defeat.
Tears.
We
saw the tears.
Yeah. Well, less tears than I thought there would be. I think because of the losing to Chelsea and just the cataclysmic events at Selhurst Park.
Yeah.
I was mentally prepared for it, whereas if it had come down to the last day and we just purely lost it there, I'd have been a broken man.
I wouldn't have seen Liverpool getting beaten by Newcastle at home if they needed to get it.
Yeah. To be honest, I was feeling a bit down, but Wrighty gave me a cuddle before we came on.
That's fine.
That's lifted me up no end. Yeah, look, disappointing to not win the title, to come that close, but the fact that we came that close for me is the most important thing for Liverpool. That's the closest we've come to a Premier League title. I think that's a real positive.
What's the most important job for Brendan Rodgers this summer? Is it keeping Luis Suarez?
Yeah, I suppose. I just don't see that as an issue. I can't. I mean, the press are going to try and stir it up again, as they will, because they've got column inches to fill, and it's a great story. And Luis Suarez doesn't handle the media particularly well, so that's going to be interesting every time he gets interviewed at the World Cup. I don't see that as an issue. I think Brendan Rodgers' major job this summer is making sure that we've got quality off the bench, because we had no quality off the bench this season at all. We need game changers who can come on and make a difference. And when we were playing our most attacking team, when we had Sterling, Suarez, Sturridge and Coutinho on there's no one on the bench to come on and get any better.
I must admit, I looked at the weekend, the bench against Newcastle. It was only Coutinho that you felt could come on and change. So they need a deeper squad, particularly playing in Europe. So do you think they should have parked the bus a little bit at times?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
They conceded over 50 goals this season in the Premier League, which is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Number, really.
Yeah, it's like, I think Man United conceded like 45 goals once when they won the league. But if they just squeezed it in and made it tighter in 2 games. Even of course the Palace game, we could look at the latter stages, Chelsea and the Palace game.
Well, the Cardiff game is a big one. We
exactly.
won 6-3. There's 3 goals you don't need to concede.
He's going to have to do that, Brendan Rodgers. He's talking about parking the bus, and he had a bit of a cob on about it as well. He's going to need to do that next season in a few games.
He needs to be more pragmatic, I think, the thing from Liverpool's perspective. And again, I'm not prepared to be too critical because he's still a young manager. He's still learning his trade. Look at the improvements and the mistakes he made a lot the previous season were largely cut out this season, so I would expect them to address these problems similarly this summer and us to continue on that sort of upward trend. But
so, last word to you. What are your hopes and ambitions for next year?
I just want us to be there or thereabouts. I think we've got to remember that Liverpool Football Club exists to be challenging for silverware and major trophies. And some people from outside of Liverpool might see that as a certain arrogance on our part, but just a confidence. This is where we want. This is where we expect our football clubs. We're not accepting of mediocrity at Liverpool Football Club. So I want Liverpool to, if we get some good quality players in the summer, I want to have a good go at the Champions League. And by that I mean, we're going to go there, we're going to enjoy the ride. Let's try not to get embarrassed, because it is a first experience for a lot of the squad and, of course, for the manager. The Premier League, we need to. It's vital for us that we kick on, use all this experience that we built up this year, and go and challenge again next year.
Liverpool fans, do you agree with that? And what can you achieve next season? Let us know on Twitter @BallStreet.